Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. Now, I want to say thank you for everybody who watches these videos and continues to watch and share and comment, like, even subscribe to the channel. And those who do, I think you understand and appreciate what these videos are about. They're not about me creating fear, not about me mongering. It's not about me trying to scare you or put you into panic or chaos. I didn't create food shortages. I didn't create inflation. I didn't create the recession. I'm just sharing with you guys information that I think is going to be very valuable and very helpful to you so that you can better prepare for what's coming, what's happening. Like it's some of this stuff is coming, but a lot of this stuff is happening. And we're now in a reactionary time beyond preparing because you are in it. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Well, guess what? We all just got punched in the face, and we continuously get punched in the face every single day. Now, again, those of you who are watching, I believe that you are smart and intelligent people who are very interested in knowing as much as possible, because knowledge is power, knowledge is key, and educating yourselves so you won't be blindsided. And you can have the best possible chance for fight and survival. Plain and simple. So thank you guys again for being here, for watching the video. Today I want to talk to you about something that I had mentioned previously when we started seeing gas prices and diesel prices going up, the announcement of diesel shortages. The first thing I said was people are going to get crazy and people are going to get stupid and desperate. And I actually received an email. And another thing, thank you guys for emailing me. My email is in the description. My email is in my banner on the channel. It's in short supply on yt@gmail.com. If you want to email me anything, I appreciate it. I have a lot of them to go through. I try to go through them as quickly as possible, but I also try to bring you guys the ones that I think are going to be most beneficial soonest. So if I haven't touched on the topic that you sent me in the email, I'm still working on it. Trust me. Thank you for sharing. It's very helpful to the community. But I received an email from he's a truck driver, but he's got a fleet of smaller trucks, but they all run on diesel. And they're the type of trucks that have the diesel tanks exposed on the exterior of the vehicle. And he's telling me that on a somewhat daily basis, he's finding, because he's got a fleet of these things, he's finding he'll come out to start the day, get the trucks prepped, ready to go. And these trucks vary from box trucks to like landscape trucks. They're like engine over cab or cab over engine trucks where the diesel tank is exposed. And he comes out to find that the tanks are empty. The diesel fuel has been stolen. Now, there was no surprise here. We knew this was going to happen. Everybody says, "Oh, get locking gas caps, lock up your fuel, make it so that they can't steal it." That makes sense, makes perfect sense. But in this particular situation, and in any situation, fuel tanks are not protected. If somebody wants to get access to your fuel, they can, whether you have a lock on it or not. The biggest problem is, and I'm sure that this isn't just limited to his types of trucks. This can happen to big rigs, semi trucks, the ones that are transporting the necessities and essentials that we need every single day. Our food, our water, our clothing, our building materials, our health supplies. Anything that you order from Amazon, anything you order from Walmart, anything you order from Costco, Sam's Club, they're all transported on these trucks. Even to the point of if you still receive a paper check, you may be surprised that companies like ADP and Paychecks actually send out physical checks weekly. So if the trucks can't move, you may not get your check. Just putting that out there. Not to say that you would want to move to direct deposit it, because that's a whole nother story of banks getting electronically shut down. We're going to talk about that later. But there's a lot that gets transported by diesel powered vehicles that you may not necessarily think about. But the bigger problem, besides the theft of the diesel and the fact that they can't go to work that day, The biggest problem with it is that they're damaging the tanks that are holding the fuel in order for the thieves to steal the fuel. And so what this means is that they're typically putting jugs, containers underneath these tanks and then drilling holes in the tanks, allowing the fuel to pour out into their containers and move on. And the biggest problem with that is these tanks usually can't be repaired. It's not a realistic and viable option safely, especially if you're operating under a DOT number where you're going to be subject to inspections. They have to be replaced. So not only did the company or the owner lose the cost of the diesel that was already in the tank, they lost their ability to earn an income that day. They lost additional money from having to replace the tank. And the biggest one is, as this trend continues to grow, because we know that it's not going to be a one-off. This is going to be a widespread event. Do not think you're immune. Eventually, we're going to run out of tanks, okay? Before we run out of tanks, we're going to see history repeat itself. And these tanks are going to start costing more due to the fact of limited supply and increased demand driven by theft and criminal activity, unfortunately. The point is, this is the harsh truth. This is a reality. This is going to happen. So it's already happening. So I'm sharing this with you, not to scare you, not to cause panic. I'm sharing it with you so you understand the direction that we're going, to understand why certain services may not be performed, certain deliveries may not be made, certain shelves may be empty, and why certain businesses are at extreme risk because they're vulnerable, they're targets. And these costs have to be paid for somehow, some way, or the businesses have to cease to operate, which is another domino effect to the economy's recovery, because businesses ceasing to operate hurt multiple people down the line and could essentially hurt you personally. It's your business. You work for that business. You rely on that business. It's a never-ending problem that we're in, all really stemmed by the current state of our economy. Because the reason why people are getting so desperate and doing such stupid things is because they're afraid, they're scared, and they really have no other option. Inflation is real. And even if you're employed, but you're underpaid, can't get a raise, but at least you're gainfully employed, as the Fed continues to increase rates, supply remains low, demand remains high, inflation continues to climb, CPI indexes continue to rise month after month. You, who is doing everything in your power to survive, continuously get kicked while you're down. Because if you don't make more, everything else hurts more. And then at some point, you have to make a choice. And a lot of people's choices that they're making right now are bad choices, poor choices, last resort choices, but they're making them because, honestly, I have to say a lot of them don't have any other choice. And, Biden making a stand and a push to urge oil refineries to pump out more fuel and help with this crisis and this crunch. It's like, if you work 24 hours a day and your boss comes and says, hey, I need you to work 25 hours today, you just can't do it. Like, just saying it doesn't make it possible and make it happen. It's not how this works. So what do? Do you try to increase your productivity already stretched to the max? Or do you just say, you know what, screw this, I'm done. You can have this, What are you going to do? And we're going to see more and more people get to this point very, very soon, because we're getting pushed to the point of no return. We are. Tell me if I'm wrong, please. Tell me where the silver lining is, where the light at the end of the tunnel is, because we are headed for a deep recession. And the worst part about it is we're going to be in a deep recession with no viable solution and way out, because of the pandemic that we're trying to recover from, and just everything being in disarray. And I will be making a video soon about electrical companies. Actually, there's two different things going on. One, electrical companies are actually asking customers to reduce consumption because the grid can't handle it. Two, other companies are just basically cutting customers off temporarily because the grid can't handle it. Temporarily could be an hour, could be a day, could be a week. You lose power, you lose electricity for a day. What do you think that's good? What do you think the implications are of that long term? Besides you're not having AC in 100-degree weather. Besides your refrigerator and freezer letting all your food go bad. Besides not having lights. Besides not having the ability to run oxygen machines if you need to. And the list goes on and on and on. Besides not being able to run your business because you need electricity to run computers and different things like that. So I'm going to talk about that soon. But the real point I want to make with that is the control and lack of control. The control that these companies have over us and the lack of control that we have. And, the idea that we're going to have this push for green renewable energy on an electrical grid that isn't built to sustain what we have already. There's talks of electrical companies building out charging stations. Again, the grid can't handle it, but they're talking about building out charging stations, and guess who's going to pay for it? The taxpayers are going to pay for it, regardless of whether or not you use them and or own an electric vehicle or not. You're going to pay for them, and this is just the beginning of the control. Because what's to stop a bank from telling you no, asking you to reduce your cash consumption, or basically just shutting down ATMs and your ability to have access to money, that your money when you need it most. I'm not saying to start a bank run, but I am saying that you may want to do all you can to protect yourself, prepare yourself and your family. Like I said, you guys are smart people. You're here to learn, educate yourselves, make decisions on your own. But I just want to share with you the information so that you can make better informed decisions. And again, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give the video a like, comment below, hit me up in the email, because the information that you can share, I can share, and it can reach more people. And read the comments. I read them all. Read the comments. We have a great group, a great community, a great family that collectively we are going to help each other get through this. Take care. Bye.